Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a blessed Sunday. And be geeks and the folks, this is a fucking rant. And this is very personal to me. We know the elitists of the coastal elites who know nothing about the Midwest, our culture, our way of life, anything like that. As many of you know, the other day we had several, like I believe it was up to 50 tornadoes tear through the Midwest, tear through Missouri, tear through Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. Upwards of probably 100 people are dead, literally right before Christmas. And a lot of these people that are alive have lost everything. It's gone. Everything they had is destroyed. Unfortunately, this is something that us in the Midwest who actually live here and know this way of life know this is always a possibility. But of course, we have these coastal elites and these celebrities who, as far as I can tell, would only fly over our area. And if they drove through it, would bitch about how much land we're wasting because you could build a whole bunch of buildings around there for people and housing. I mean, I know that's how they would think. So let's take a look at some of these little shit shows that they said about where I live, because this is personal to me. This is very personal to me. This is where the majority of my family lives. But this is also the same thing when you live on the East Coast. You know there's a chance you're going to get a freaking hurricane. If you live on the West Coast, you might get a typhoon. This is part of life when you choose to live in those areas. I live in Twister fucking Alley. Okay, there's a reason why this whole area that is set up is called Twister Alley or Tornado Alley. Okay, this shit has nothing to do with climate change, no matter how much you fucking idiots want to think it does. Okay, tornadoes happen here. Okay, they've been happening since long before a steam engine was built. I'm taking that one directly from the Quartering. The thing is, and that's where I actually saw this thing with these little. So I'm going to share some of these smug ass sons of bitches. Here's one. This is the one that got me right off the bat. Sorry, Kentucky, maybe if your two senators hadn't spent decades blocking legislation reducing climate change, you wouldn't be suffering a climate disaster. It's any consolidation. McConnell and Rand Paul have fucked over all of us too. Yeah, you're ballsy. You're real ballsy. You're brave. And then she had the audacity to spin it up with that saying, "Oh, this is being taken out of context." No, actually, it's being taken directly in context. I could play that game too. Maybe if maybe Chicago wouldn't have so much crime if Democrats weren't running it all the time. Maybe if Chicago residents stopped voting Democrats, maybe we wouldn't have so much black on black crime. I can play that fucking game too. You're literally, of course, as Rahm Emanuel said, never let a crisis go to waste. And oh boy, do the actors and actresses just have to get their 2 cents in. So let's take a look at some of the other fun little liberals have had to say. Yeah, this pisses me off. Sorry, give me a second. I'm working on the sharing. My blood pressure is a little high right now because this really pissed me off. I take this very personally. Yes, folks, this is an article from Fox News. Don't get bitchy about it. I didn't write these tweets. These people did. All right. There we go. That way you should be able to see it. So let's go. Eric Swalwell, this piece of shit. We should all do what we can to help our Kentucky neighbors. God be with them. They're hurting. But not for 1 second forget Rand Paul has voted against helping most Americans most of the time in need. Yep, let's make sure we shove that knife in people's backs. Great job. Great job. Really good. I don't know who Jeremy Hill's. We know Rand Paul is a heartless hypocrite. The People in Kentucky deserve relief regardless of the buffoonish leadership. But if the Dems do not use this against him and his party in the future, it is a missed opportunity. Again, here we go. Let's just make sure that we use this as political tool. You know, fuck the fact that a few weeks before Christmas, we've got a lot of people devastated and going to be put out. A lot of these people are probably going to be in shelters and hotels for Christmas, unless, maybe they have family they can go to. But I don't think any of these people in Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, or Indiana give a flying fuck about what you coastal elites, you smug little bastards, think. Okay? You're the ones who allow people to shit and inject poison in them on the streets. You're the ones who allow smash and grabs to go. You're the ones who say, it's okay, it's just living in a big city. Here we go, Mark Ruffalo, this fucking prick-ass motherfucker. This is what climate catastrophe looks like. It's only going to get worse from here. Now it's time to fight our suffering. Oh, well, what do you think we could do? You think we can censor a tornado? Do you think we can make legislation to ban tornadoes? How do you think a tornado is? How do you think you're going to stop a tornado? How do you think you're going to stop the creation? Do you actually even know how a tornado is created? I almost guarantee you fucking people don't. See, actually, when I went to school, we had to learn how a tornado was created because, it was kind of a part of our lives. I don't know who this idiot is. Climate change, what does it look like? This is absolutely heartbreaking, and it's a direct result of climate change. Believe me, I know it's tempting to scream and yell and question why people are so slow to accept reality, but we must have this conversation with skeptics. Really? Climate change. It's always climate change. I think these people right here in this little area here are a little more concerned about everything they've lost. This is, folks, this is what I hate about the smug elites. They just think they're better than all the rest of us. They think they're better than us because they live in the metropolitan areas. And people like me who live in the sticks of Indiana, or people who live in the suburbs, if we're not in Chicago, or we're not in Indianapolis, or we're not in St. Louis or Kansas City, well, then what are you doing? Why aren't you, like up here with the cool folks? Well, mainly because we find you all smug, you have superiority complexes, and we don't like you. On top of that, a lot of us don't like living in cities. I moved out to these are the people who would complain about the fact that somebody owns 150 acres of land because they're a farmer. Well, what does a farmer need with all that land? I mean, come on. I own 1.5 acres of land. I'm sure there'd be some literally, do you really need that much land? I mean, I live in an apartment in Manhattan. Good for you. I don't give a shit. I live where I wanted to live. This is my home. This is my slice of the American dream. This is my home. This is my culture. This is where I live. And this is where I'm going to be buried. In the heartland of America, in the Midwest. I do have to accept the fact that there are tornadoes. I also have to accept the fact that there's snow. I have to accept the fact there's ice possibly coming, sleet, hail. Also, when 1993 happened, for those who don't remember, we had this little thing called the Great Flood of 93, where the Mississippi River was flooding. And I lived on the banks of the Mississippi. There was a pretty good chance it was going to flow over into where I lived. Thankfully, it didn't happen. So, I'm like I said, this would normally be my political point, but no, this is more entertainment because you've got these idiotic entertainers who just want to shove shit down your throat and think they know better than the rest of us. Because we're all just a bunch of dumb, redneck, hillbilly, white trash, Republican, MAGA, Trump supporters. Really? What about the people in Chicago? What about the people in St. Louis? What about many of the people in Kansas City, Indianapolis? They're not all. I guarantee you, they're not. I guarantee you, you're going to be hard pressed to find too many people who are open about being a Republican in Chicago. Even a little, almost as bad as St. Louis. And this is coming from someone who's actually been to those places. So, thank you, you coastal elites, for your thoughts, for your bullshit thoughts and prayers. Personally, I really hope Santa just gives you a big fat fucking lump of coal. And you can take that coal and rub it all over your body. All right. That's my fucking rant. Smug little piece of shit bastards. I'm out.